Hi, Aquarius, Sun and Rising. Welcome to your April 2022 Astro Update. It's Raina here. Being an air sign, you specialize in communication. So I think you're going to like the Aries energy as it starts to come in April and into May with some of the personal planets because the new moon, which is right on the 1st, like Aries likes to do things, start at the beginning, is at 11 degrees of Aries, and that's in your third house of communication. And so this is really great energy for people that have been looking to express themselves in some way. The third house can be connected to the internet because this is the primary source of communication that we use today. So blogs are a prime example of that. And I was just reading somewhere, of course, the person was marketing their services, but saying that blogs are not dead. And even, I don't know if, I read so much, but basically when other things go down, like YouTube goes down or there's censorship or what have you, that if you have your own blog, your own site, that you control that. And so I think that obviously it would have to go along with something that you have a desire to do. But I think a lot of Aquarians have that intuitive what I would say a pulse on what is happening now and can, have natural intelligence to express it in a way that can benefit humanity. So if that's something that you have been wanting to do, get on it. This is a green light portal period until the end of April, a few days before the eclipse on the 30th, where all the personal planets are direct. Actually, you know what? They might have been talking about Neptune going retrograde, but Neptune is not a personal planet. Maybe just all the planets being direct. So that's pretty cool when that happens. So in any case, what I want to speak about is what the other things are going on with the new moon in the third house, because this is an area that deals with teaching and learning. If you are in the field of education, that might be a new assignment. If you've been looking for a job, this might be the sign that this will be the time frame of when you get that teaching assignment. Or if you've been wanting to start some kind of training, this is also the area of siblings. So in the next couple of months, you may find that you are connecting with them more for some reason. Also, aunts and uncles, extended family members. On the 5th of the month, Venus goes into Pisces. So here we have your second house of earned income. Now, this is a really big month for you, probably the biggest area that is affected, because here we have Venus going in here, and Venus rules the second house. So that adds to the emphasis of attracting money. And then Mars goes there on the 14th of the month. But that's not, but wait, there's more. We have Neptune has been here for 10 years. We have Jupiter having come back there in December. So this is a loaded area. And on the 12th of December, Jupiter and Neptune form a conjunction in this house of money. So this might be something of an uplifting or spiritual nature. Now, you could say, oh yeah, money is really spiritual or uplifting, but it can be because it's a symbol. It's a symbol of energy. That's what money is. And if somebody has been toiling away, they started a business and they've been toiling away, and they get their first client, and maybe it's not just them buying the lowest priced item, but they buy the highest priced item. that can feel like a sign from the universe that you're on the right path. I'm just giving one example. Um, and even something that has a greater significance, if you get this, Jupiter can be like, wild abundance. And it can be this sign from the universe that you are being rewarded for what you have done. Neptune can be about past life karma. And well, I mean, it rules that house, so I think of it in that sense. But that the idealism, the inspiration that comes from, the synchronicities of life and feeling that life is magical. Okay, let's put it that way. So, yeah. And with all of this other stuff happening, Mars here can also make you hustling for what you get and really wanting to go for it, really wanting to work. So you putting in the effort, I think that's the best thing. I do not like to encourage people to be passive and wait for their fortune, their good fortune. I do think, like Dr. Wayne Dyer, the late Wayne Dyer, he used to say, the check is in the mail. And he said he always checked the mailbox for a check. And of course, he was a published writer, so he might have gotten residual checks and stuff like that. But I do the same thing. I'm always thinking that I'm going to get money sent to me. So I always think that way. I have Jupiter in the second house in my natal chart. I always think that. And, does it happen all the time? No. But I'm always waiting for this thing to happen. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But if you just are waiting, that's where I think you have to pray and get your feet moving. But yeah, so this could be a very pivotal month for you financially, Aquarius. Now, on the 16th, we have a full moon at 26 degrees of Libra, your fellow air sign. Where is this falling? In your ninth house. So, on a more spiritual level with the full moon, it can bring awareness or a spiritual download as to your path in life. Okay, the ninth house is the God house. It can be philosophical types of constructs of life. We all have a life philosophy. Even an atheist has a life philosophy. And maybe their goal, which might be to prove the non-existence of God. That might be what their philosophy is in life, that there is no God. But there's something that we believe in, and this can come more into focus for you. If you have Mercury in Pisces, you may feel like you don't know what to think about anything. And this can give you something, because this is the higher knowledge, okay? This isn't mundane knowledge like the third house, where you do have that new moon, and that is important, mundane knowledge, because we have to navigate the world, but we also need that spiritual guidance, and that could be what is happening. It can also be on the more mundane level. If you have finished college, I know that sounds strange, but April, May, maybe you're graduating from college or grad school, anything like that, or maybe you're dropping out and you're saying, screw this, I'm being indoctrinated. I don't know. Yeah, I could totally see that with Aquarius. You know better than they do. This is lame. All of those things. But you might be finishing a trip. You might be finishing the preparations, and you are going to be taking a trip. I'm talking about long distance. You may let go of a belief system. Now, this might be an organized religion. I do think that the ninth house is, in particular, the organized religions, the sets of dogma that, a person believes in. On the 19th, the sun goes into Taurus. And for you, this is an angular house. It's a fixed sign like you are. It's in front of you, so it's the fourth house of home and family. So that becomes your focus. The mother, the home front. But for Aquarius, this may have a little bit of uncomfortable things attached to it, because you may enjoy staying aloof from family matters. Even if you have your own family, even if you love your family, you may be a little bit afraid of having to be tied to the family. That's the freedom aspect of it. So Uranus is in this house. Your ruler is transiting this house in Taurus. So this is a time when things can happen very suddenly. You might be forced to move. During a Uranus transit in the fourth house, you may move house several times. Now, you may have owned a house for 20 years and then are moving several times during the Uranian transit in there. So anything can happen. And now that the sun is here, there's focus on this area. On the 29th, Mercury goes into Gemini. On the same day, Neptune goes retrograde. Okay, so that's where we have this planet going retrograde. So with the Mercury going into Gemini, this is the fifth house for you. So Mercury has been in the fourth house, that means. And Mercury in the fourth house, so if the first few weeks of the month, you might have been negotiating something with a house, perhaps. Or talking more with your mother. Some people would like to say that the fourth house is the father. Well, whatever, with your family of origin. And so this may be something that you've had to do for a specific reason, or just because you just remembered it. Being that type of person who, again, that's the contradictory nature of Aquarius. You rule the 11th house of groups, and yet you wish to remain aloof from having to conform to a group. And that can be a family as a type of group, or a unit of people. So that's why I say it's a double-edged sword sometimes, because as much as you may love your family dearly, you may also feel like you can't be yourself within that type of environment. So also on that day, Neptune goes retrograde in its own sign of Pisces, in that second house. So that can be some sort of wake-up call, a reality check about something financial that has been eluding you. Now, I don't think for Aquarius this is going to be a big deal, because I don't think of Aquarius as one of the more the big spenders of the zodiac. So even Taurus, if this was Taurus or somebody like that, I could see somebody who is a shopaholic, and then they find out that they didn't know that one of their credit cards had gone to the limit, and now they're paying all this money. But I don't see that with Aquarius. But still, there might be something that you discover, maybe not on that date, but in the next few months. Perhaps you have been wanting to purchase something. You've had a high ticket item that you wanted to purchase, or the second house can be luxury items, possessions in general, and something is not where it should be, and you might be tempted to be disillusioned about it, but it's just temporary, and you can work it out. And you have so much great energy here with Jupiter here until May, and in the next few weeks, Venus and Mars, that you can you can remedy the situation, so it's no big deal. And by the way, it can improve your ability to see, your budget and see what is coming and going. And then on the 30th, we have that solar eclipse in Taurus. 4th house, home and family. What is happening there? Well, this could be some major changes, shakeups with what is going on, what you call your home base. Who knows? Maybe you will add to your houses and have another house. Maybe that's what you're talking about with your mother, that you're going to take over the family home and have it in a trust, and that you are in control of it. I don't know. But the thing with the eclipses is to definitely be resigned to the fact, if you will, that change is bound to happen in these areas. Although I keep saying in my own life that I had a very prominent eclipse, that I still, a couple of them actually, that form conjunctions with the cusp of each house. Still can't figure out what that was supposed to be about. So maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. But if it does happen, if you do notice that there are a lot of developments with home matters, that you are able to be okay with that. That it's not something that you're going to freak out about because you're an Aquarius, you're a fixed sign, and you tend to be adverse to change. That you can see it, even if it feels like destabilizing, because the 4th house are your roots, even if it feels destabilizing, that you're able to kind of roll with the punches. Because that, rather than resisting and creating that, it's kind of like a negative energy based on not accepting what is, Another piece in that is that in terms of the eclipses and the solar eclipse in particular, is it can bring up something from your childhood. The 4th house is a childhood. That is very in your face, that you can no longer deny about something. And that can be kind of jarring for anybody. But again, part of that evolution, part of the growth process. So embrace it. Okay. That's what I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, please check out my deep dive double reading, hour of natal chart analysis, hour of transits for a special price. And it's more comprehensive. I don't even do the shorter combos anymore because it doesn't do it justice. So why do it? So I offer a discounted price to have both of those together. But if you like just the natal chart analysis, you don't care about transits, and I got just the natal, or I got just the transits, I've got other types of readings. The link is below. I'm at rainermoonastrology.com. Thanks for listening. Take care.